My girlfriend wanted a break, then used my credit card in Miami, so I froze it fast. I'm 24, and I'd been with Rachel, 26, for 18 months. Last Tuesday, I was making dinner in our tiny apartment when she leaned on the counter and said, "We need a break." I thought she meant a break from arguing, but she kept going. "I need space to find myself. This routine is killing me." Then she said she was going to Miami for a week with her sister Erin to clear her head about us. I didn't want to fight, so I just said, "Okay," even though my chest felt tight. Wednesday at 6 a.m., she rolled her suitcase to the door like it was a normal trip. Right before she left, she opened the kitchen drawer and pulled out my emergency credit card. "Just in case," she said. "If something happens." I hesitated, but she kissed my cheek and promised she'd only use it if she had to. I watched her walk out and told myself it was fine. That night, her Instagram stories started. Fancy restaurants, shopping bags, club lights, random people cheering on a boat. I kept thinking, space to find herself sure looks expensive. Thursday at 9 a.m., Chase Bank called. "Sir, we're seeing unusual activity on your card in Miami, Florida." My stomach dropped. I asked how much. He said about $2,400 in 2 days, with more pending. I opened my app and saw hotel upgrades, boutiques, pricey dinners, and bottle service. I make $45,000 a year. That was money I needed for rent and bills. I told the bank to freeze the card immediately. They froze it in seconds. I sat there staring at the app, watching more pending charges pop up. I canceled my rent autopay for the first time ever and moved money from savings just to make sure my account wouldn't bounce. At work, I kept refreshing my phone under my desk, barely hearing anyone talk to me. By Thursday afternoon, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Rachel called again and again. I let it ring. Then a voicemail came in, all sweet and confused. "Babe, my card just got declined. Can you call the bank? There must be a mistake." A minute later, she texted the same thing. I stared at my screen, then at the charges, then back at her text, like maybe I was the one going crazy. Friday morning, her messages got panicky. "Luke, I'm stuck. The hotel is saying there's a balance and my personal card is maxed. Please fix this." Around noon, I finally picked up. I kept my voice calm. "Hey, how's Miami?" She snapped. "Don't do that. Something's wrong with your credit card." I said, "Nothing's wrong. I froze it yesterday." Silence. Then, "You did what?" I said, "We're on a break. I needed a break from the charges too." She started talking fast. Erin flew home early. She couldn't pay the hotel. The concierge wanted payment right now. She said she was literally stranded. She tried the sad angle first. "This trip is for my mental health." I said, "My financial health matters too." She switched to angry. "So you're punishing me?" I said, "No, I'm stopping you." She begged, "Just unfreeze it for one night." I asked, "Were you ever going to tell me you were using my card for shopping and bottle service?" She didn't answer. She just cried and said, "I thought you'd understand." I said, "I understand you spent my money without asking." Friday night, her stories changed. No more yachts, just a sad selfie in a fast food place. Saturday, she texted, "I booked a Greyhound home. It's 18 hours. We need to talk." I replied, "Bring my card." Sunday evening, she showed up at my door dragging a beat-up suitcase. Hair messy, makeup smeared, not the Miami version she'd posted. She tried to step inside and said, "Can we please talk about us?" I didn't move. I handed her a printed statement. "We can talk about this first." Her eyes flew over the page. The total was $4,200 once everything posted, even some fees after the freeze. "I didn't think it would be that much," she whispered. She pointed at the list like it was someone else's problem. "I'll pay you back," I asked. "With what? You told me your card was maxed." She said, "I'll figure it out. I'll work extra shifts." I said, "You couldn't afford lunch, but you upgraded a hotel room on my card." She started sobbing. "It was just 1 week. I needed space to decide what I want." I said, "You used my credit limit to decide." Then she tried to turn it into romance. "This doesn't change my feelings. I still love you." I said, "It changes mine. You went on a break and took my emergency card like it was part of the deal." She grabbed my sleeve. "Please, Luke, don't end it over money." I pulled my arm back. "It's not just money, it's trust." Her voice got small. "So what am I supposed to do now? I have nowhere to go." I said, "Call Erin. Call anyone but me." She shook her head and whispered, "Please." I looked at her, then at the statement, then back at her. "You found a way to spend $4,000 without asking. You can find a way to figure out tonight." I closed the door, turned the lock, and blocked her number. Now my friends are saying I was petty for freezing her card. Was I wrong?